So it's Halloween. It's 2020. It's fallen on a Saturday this year. Not only a Saturday, but a Saturday with a full moon, and not only a full moon, but a blue moon, and not only that, we get an extra hour because of the time change. But guess what's going on? We got the goddamn COVID, the fucking bat flu. And the world is still somewhat shut down, let's say. But I digress when it comes to that. This holiday, it is, this holiday is, let's say, special to me and people like me. Now, it's always been, for as long as I can remember, it's always been my favorite holiday. It's because of its creepy factor, something I've always been drawn to. It was that one day out of the whole year where even as a child I felt comfortable. Because otherwise I didn't exactly fit in. Now I have forever been in love with horror films, horror literature, so on and so forth. But, and I will admit this, and I've said it before, 95%, maybe even higher, of horror films are complete shit. But those movies that got me into horror were those original, classic Universal horror films. Especially The Bride of Frankenstein. That movie is a fucking gem. It still holds up to this day as far as I'm concerned. It's not only creepy in a gothic sense, it is campy as hell, and it's funny on top of it. And later on, getting into literature, Poe, Lovecraft, so on. And then even during my rock and roll years, if you will, now some of you might be disappointed by this, but when I was playing in bands, I was not what you would call a metalhead. I'm a little older, let's put it that way. My formative years were the late 70s, early 80s. And back then, there were no good metal bands, I hate to say, except for two. That was Black Sabbath and Motorhead. That was it. So what I was drawn toward was those darker bands, if you will, who back then didn't really have, their style didn't really have a name. Now we know it as goth. Back then, we weren't really called goth. And these were bands like Bauhaus, Lords of the New Church, Sisters of Mercy, Specimen. And that look, that feel, that darkness attracted me. That darkness I found, let's say, strangely poetic. Like I said, back then we didn't call it goth. We didn't really have a name for it. Death rock was thrown around. I don't know, some people may have called themselves goth. I didn't use that term, but then later on when I learned it, I thought, oh, okay, that's what it was. And to this day, I still love that, let's say, that gothic Victorian look. It's very much who I am. It's who my wife is. That was a big part of what brought us together. This commonality of we were both part of this subculture, but in two different cities far, far away. But anyway, I digress. Halloween is we on the left-hand path, our holiday. Not only because of its deep pagan roots within Celtic culture, the feast day of Samhain, where the veil between this world and the other world is the thinnest, thus allowing the dead to walk. This holiday speaks to our souls. The one day the rest of the world can join us. Get to play in our sandbox, if you know what I mean. So, do what you can tonight to celebrate. I know it's frustrating as hell, but do something outrageous. Do something that speaks to your soul. And celebrate this damn holiday. Don't let the powers that be take it away from you.